I didn't want to make this video, but I'd be a coward if I didn't speak right now. Charlie Kirk has been assassinated, and whether or not you agreed with him doesn't matter anymore. Because this isn't just about one man. This is about the kind of nation that we're becoming. A country where disagreement turns into dehumanization, where politics matter more than people. A place where we're no longer safe to speak, to question, to live out our faith. Charlie championed free speech, respectful disagreement, and open dialogue, and he was killed for doing just that. And if that doesn't shake you to your core, then there is something deeply wrong with us as a nation. Charlie wasn't a political pawn. He wasn't just a headline. He was a husband. He was a father. He was a person made in the image of God. And to me, he wasn't just a commentator. He was someone who gave many young Christians like myself the courage to speak up. Someone who proved that you could stand firm on truth without the fear of backlash. And yet, right now, people are celebrating his death, mocking it, cheering it on. And if that's you, I'll say this in the most respectful way possible. You're disgusting, and you've lost all your humanity. If someone's death makes you happy, there is something deeply, deeply wrong with you. Because politics come and go, parties rise and fall, but human life is eternal. And picture this for a moment. Imagine getting that phone call. Imagine going home to an empty chair at the dinner table. Imagine kids growing up without a father because someone decided that their hate mattered more than his life. There are lessons that we need to learn from this tragedy. Lesson 1 is that we must stop dehumanizing people we disagree with. We can debate, we can argue, but when we start to treat people as less than human, this is exactly what happens. The second lesson we can learn from this: the shooter failed. The shooter who killed Charlie didn't silence him. That's never how it works. Martyrs don't end movements, they multiply them. His voice is louder now than ever before because his life planted seeds that no bullet can kill. And the third lesson we can learn is that the problem isn't guns, it's hate. A gun didn't kill Charlie, a person did. Guns have been legal since the birth of this country, and we have never seen this much senseless death before. So what's changed? Well, the people have. This is a mental health crisis. This is a spiritual crisis. This is a humanity crisis. When we remove God, when we destroy the family, when we drown in hate, we create the kind of brokenness that pulls the trigger. And now the responsibility falls on us. We owe it to Charlie, and especially his kids, to carry forward the work that he so desperately wanted to see finished. To build a country where disagreement doesn't equal destruction. Where faith, family, and freedom are defended not with bullets, but with courage, conviction, and compassion. Charlie inspired me deeply as a young Christian. In fact, I have his book right over there. And his boldness, his way of words, his passion, it shaped me. But his life also reminds me of something bigger, that we are called not only to fight for our side, but for the very soul of our nation. The next generation is watching. They will either inherit a culture of hate or a culture of hope, and it's up to us to decide. Scripture says in Romans 12:21, "Do not be overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good." And that's the calling right now, to not let this evil moment define us, but to respond with greater commitment to goodness, to truth, to Christ. So rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You were an inspiration to me and countless others, and we will not let your death be the end of your story.
When people stop talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When church starts happening, they fall apart. When civilizations stop talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. What we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.